How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Football Fan Forever, and this is your New York Jets franchise on Madden 20. This is a bit of a shorter video, but it is important nonetheless. I wanted to recap the trade deadline and take some time to talk about why I made the moves that I did make. We have ourselves a question right now: what to do with Sam Darnold. He got beaten out for the starting job, and we declined his fifth-year option. But I still think he's got a future in the league, probably just not with the New York Jets. He's in a contract year and he wants starter money, $118 million over 5 years. There's no way we can afford to pay what would essentially be our backup quarterback that kind of money. I don't even think he's earned it given his level of play thus far in this series. So my focus shifted from trying to maybe re-sign him to a team-friendly deal to trying to find a trade partner that would benefit both us and him going forward. I put him on the trade block, and there were some pretty underwhelming offers, some third-round picks. The Giants offered a future first-round pick, but they already have a very similar young quarterback in Daniel Jones, and they just won the Super Bowl last year with Daniel Jones, so I don't know why they're trying to trade for another quarterback. That didn't make sense to me, so I did not accept that offer, and none of these other ones looked at all good. Plus, I wasn't all that interested in trading for picks. I think there are more immediate areas of need that this trade can address, and I started looking at areas of need on our team. Wide receiver is a question mark going forward. If I'm thinking about our championship window, we've got 4 or 5 years here in a row where we should be competing for the playoffs every single year. And with 4 wide receivers, including the 28-year-old Jameson Crowder on expiring contracts, I would love to bring in a top-tier wide receiver to be a true number 1 target for this team. So my objectives for this trade was first and foremost to give Sam Darnold the opportunity to start. He might not be the quarterback that this team is looking for, but he is an NFL caliber quarterback, and I'd love to see him in this series in a system that can better take advantage of his strengths. I also want to trade for a starter that can help us now. I'm not interested in taking on a project player. We've got enough development of our own to work on. And I also want to be conscious of cap space because this upcoming off season will be very critical for us. So someone like CJ Waters. He's young, he's got blazing speed and upside, but doesn't have the all-around polish I'm looking for. Someone like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Tampa Bay also had interest in Darnold, but was unwilling to give up either Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, even with a pretty competitive offer from our side, so had to move on from that. But the Oakland Raiders emerged as one of the favorites to land Darnold here. They've got Derek Carr as their current quarterback. He's in his age 30 season, only 2 years left on his deal, so Darnold would give them upside and youth behind Derek Carr and would be in line to take over the starting job. I wasn't really impressed with their wide receiver depth. They didn't have a true number 1 like I was looking for, and a surprising player floated to the top of the trade talks. Left end Mash Johnson. He's in his 2nd year out of Arizona. He was a number 1 overall pick. We played him last year and we saw what he was capable of, but there's been a recent falling out between Mash Johnson and the coaching staff / front office in Oakland. He's not playing a lot of their defensive snaps. He's having to split time, and he's way too talented of a player to have to be competing for playing time to the level that he is. He's a number 1 overall pick, and he's getting treated like a depth player in Oakland. For the Jets, it adds another piece to their already dangerous defense. Not that defensive line is really a need, but we've gone from great to elite if this trade goes through. Mash Johnson has the strength to play inside. He's got the speed and pass rush prowess to line up on the outside. We can move him all around the defensive line and help create mismatches with our current personnel. And I think he's going to benefit from having the likes of James Delgado, Eric Armstead, and Quinion Williams rushing the passer with him. So I decided to try and put together a trade package for Mash Johnson. Sam Darnold, who they had a lot of interest in, and a 6th round pick in the upcoming draft for Mash Johnson and wide receiver Sean Forbes, who was added for cap considerations. A former number 3 overall pick for a former number 1 overall pick. This trade didn't really stick out to me as one that would be likely to go through, just because of how much the computer gave up to acquire Mass Johnson, and we've used that to fuel our rebuild here in New York. But we decide to offer them the trade, and it goes through. They were not interested at all in Mass Johnson. 1 star, not interested. That's their feedback. I couldn't believe it. But it gives both players a fresh start. I think Sam Darnold has everything it takes to be a starting quarterback in this league, and he'll get that opportunity next year in Oakland, assuming that Derek Carr regresses. And Mass Johnson, he'll get a fresh start as a defensive lineman on one of the best defenses in the league. I'm so excited to see what he can do alongside our cadre of pass rushers, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in action Week 8 against the New Orleans Saints. That game will be up Sunday sometime. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think of the trade down in the comments, and like always, I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody.